Okay, here's a challenge for you. What if you had to tell your entire life story, everything you've ever been through, in just 6 words? It's a really fascinating idea, and today we're going to dive into where it came from and what it can show us about ourselves.
I mean, think about it. It sounds kind of crazy, right? A whole life, all the good stuff, the bad stuff, the big wins, the tough losses, all squeezed into a single short sentence. Is that even possible?
Well, legend has it that the famous novelist Ernest Hemingway was once challenged by his friends to write a whole story in just 6 words, and this was his answer. Wow. In just 6 words, you feel this incredible story of hope and then sudden, profound loss. It's an absolute masterclass in saying a lot with a little. And you know, that one little legend, whether it's true or not, actually sparked a whole modern movement. It got a lot of people thinking, hey, I wonder if I could do that for my own life.
So this is where it really took off. The online magazine Smith saw this idea and just ran with it. They launched something called the Six-Word Memoir Project, and the challenge they put out to their readers was super simple. Tell us your life story, but you've only got 6 words to do it. And what happened next was incredible. The response was just huge. They were flooded with thousands and thousands of these tiny little memoirs. It got so big, they compiled them into a best-selling book, proving that this simple little rule could unlock some serious creativity.
The whole project was led by the magazine's founding editor, Larry Smith, and the memoir editor, Rachel Verschleiser. And of course, they had to write their own. Larry's was big hair, big heart, big hurry. And Rachel's, bespectacled, besneakered, read and ran around. You get a pretty clear picture of who they are from just those few words, right?
So the project was a total smash hit. And it wasn't just regular folks sending in their stories. It also caught the attention of some pretty well-known people.
And the variety of what people shared is just fantastic. You've got the author Dave Eggers with a really funny and relatable one. Then you have the singer Amy Mann basically giving us the entire origin story for her career. And of course, comedian Stephen Colbert just nails it with a perfect self-aware punchline. But you know, the real heart and soul of this whole project came from everyday people. And some of these, they're just beautiful and heartbreaking. I still make coffee for 2 that tells you everything about loss and routine. Painful nerd kid, happy nerd adult. I love that one. It's a whole story of finding your place. And joined army, came out, got booted. That's an entire life of identity and struggle in one sentence. Each one is like a tiny little universe.
Now, it didn't take long for people to realize this wasn't just a fun online project. Educators especially saw some serious potential here. They realized this was an amazing tool for the classroom.
So teachers started using this as a first day of school kind of assignment. Think about it. It's a super simple, no-pressure way to get a feel for a student's personality, their creativity, what they care about, all before you even start the first real lesson.
To get the ball rolling, one teacher shared their own personal 6-word philosophy. At first glance, it seems pretty simple, but there's this really clever little bit of wordplay going on that makes it so good.
So on the surface, it sets up this duality that, let's be honest, we all know. You have the blessing part of family, all the love and support, and then you have the dysfunction, the messy, complicated side of things.
But here's the genius part. The last word, relative. Dysfunction isn't just relative, as in a matter of opinion. The dysfunction also comes from our relatives, the people themselves. It's such a witty, sharp, and totally honest take on what family is really like.
All right, so what happens when you give this assignment to a classroom full of students? Well, as you can imagine, the results were just as creative and insightful as the original project.
Just look at some of these. You get these really deep, philosophical ones like lose your mind, find your soul, and I would rather live than exist. You get these really optimistic ones like life has a hopeful undertone. And then you get the one we can all relate to, the perfectly honest, I forgot to do this. Which, let's face it, is a pretty great 6-word story all on its own.
So when you boil it all down, this whole thing is way more than just a clever writing prompt or a fun classroom activity. It's really a tool that any of us can use.
So why is this format so powerful? Well, it's because having limits actually forces you to be more creative. That 6-word rule makes you get rid of all the fluff and really truly think about what's at the absolute core of your story. It's not about being short, it's about finding clarity.
Which, of course, brings us right back to you. We've seen stories full of humor, hope, and heartbreak, all packed into just 6 words. So, now it's your turn. If you had to do it,
If you had to distill your entire life down to one single sentence, what would your 6 words be?